Good morning, everybody out there in Mathland. Today for fourth grade, we will be finding unknown angle measures. Now, once again, for this lesson, you are not going to need a protractor. We are doing this all with math equations in order to find the unknown measure. So this is not something where you are going to have to get a protractor from somewhere and start measuring an angle. No, you need math in order to solve the unknown angle, okay? I'm actually going to start right here, not necessarily following these instructions, but just showing you something. This right here, this is a right angle. And I know it is a right angle because they give me this little symbol right here. When they put this little square corner on your angle, they're telling you that it's a right angle and it's automatically 90 degrees. This right here, when it's laying straight like that, this is a straight angle. And this is exactly 180 degrees. It's good to know that because we're going to be working majorly with 90-degree angles and 180-degree angles. Okay, second page. Now, I want to shout out a couple of students who have been taking the boxes that have the information about angles and different things and putting them in construction paper or putting them all in one place and decorating it. So shout out to Ada and shout out to Savannah because they have been decorating these papers, and it's with some with stickers and some gluing it on construction paper, having it all in one place. That's a great study tool. If you have done it as well, please send me a picture. I would love to shout you out in the next video. That was just, I thought it was really cool. Okay, so when a right angle is decomposed into two adjacent angles, the sum of their measures is 90 degrees. These angles are called complementary. So these two angles right here join together to form a 90-degree angle. That means that this plus this must equal 90 degrees. When that happens, they're called complementary angles, that they both add up to 90. That's complementary. Now, we have something very similar, but when two angles join together to form a straight angle, 180-degree angle, those two angles are called supplementary, okay? So when they join to form 90, it's complementary. When they join to form 180, it's called supplementary, okay? Just so you know. So now let's say that they give you this two adjacent angles right here. And you know that both of them together equal 90 because they have that little square box that tells you that, okay? They tell you that one is 35, but they don't tell you the measurement of the other. However, you do know that this plus this has to equal 90. So how do you find the missing angle? Well, you have to write an equation. X stands for the amount that you don't know, and then plus 35, it must equal 90 because they're complementary to each other, okay? So the way you do this is that you use subtraction to solve it. It must be the opposite operation or inverse operation. So if you take 90 and take away 35, whatever you are left with, that is the measurement of this angle. 90 minus 35 is 55. So 55 degrees will be the answer. So this angle right here is 55 degrees, and I found it by doing 90 minus 35. We're gonna do this for the rest of the problems in order to find the missing angles, okay? So for example, write and solve an equation to find the measure of angle NLM. So NLM, that means I don't know what this angle is, but I know that both of them together have to equal 180 degrees because it's a straight angle. These are supplementary angles to each other. So the way I do it is that X plus 62 has to equal 180, right? So in order to find it, I do X is the same as saying 180 minus 62 degrees. So I go over here, 180 minus 62, 7, that's 10, that's 8, 1, 1. So 118 degrees is the measurement of the missing angle. So I'm going to show you that one more time. Here's X, here's 62. Both of these together make 180 because they're supplementary angles. So I do the X plus the 62 has to equal 180 degrees. So the X is the same as saying the inverse operation, the opposite. So 180 minus 62, and that's how you get 118. And believe it or not, that's algebra. You are doing algebra right now in the fourth grade. Kind of crazy. Okay, let's keep going. So write and solve an equation to find the measure of the angle. MKL. Here it is, MKL. So I don't know what this one is, but I know because of this little box that both of them together have to equal 90. So how do I do that? I say the x plus the 45, which is the angle that I do know, has to equal 90. So I do the inverse operation. 90, take away 45 to find the missing angle, and the angle is 45 degrees. Do I have to go through all these steps every time? I just think this looks organized, so that's why I do it this way. The measurement of the angle is 45 degrees. Plus, they said to write and solve an equation. This is an equation that I'm solving. Remember, please, that the difference between an equation and an expression is that an expression doesn't have an equal symbol. An equation does, okay? So right now, right here, these are, by the way, complementary angles. And these, because it'll be out of 180, are supplementary. Keep that in mind. Okay. M and P. M and P. I don't know how much this is. I don't know. But I know that both of them together have to equal 180 because it's a straight angle. So here's my equation. X plus 22 equals 180. So X equals 180 minus 22. And borrow from the 8, make it a 7. This is a 10, that's 8. 7 minus 2 is 5. So 158 degrees. That's the measurement, okay? Over here. Do not panic when you see 3 angles. These are still complementary angles to each other because all of them together equal 90 degrees. The one I don't know is right here. Angle T, R, U, or true. Haha. So here's how I build the equation. X plus 40 plus 30 equals 90, because here's my 90-degree box. So this plus this plus this. In order to solve that, you need an extra step, and that's okay. You're going to do X plus, add the 2 that you already know about. What's 40 plus 30? That's 70, okay? So now, 70, X plus 70 equals 90. Now do the inverse operation. 90, take away 70 to find the missing angle. 20 degrees. There we go. Okay, these are supplementary angles, meaning that all 3 add up to 180. So my equation must be X plus 111 plus 31 equals 180. Add the 2 that you already know. So this is 142 equals 180. And now you subtract. So X equals 180 minus 142 to find the missing angle. So X equals 180 minus 42. That's a 7, that's a 10, that's an 8. 138 degrees. Okay, as you can see, it's the same stuff that I just did here. I added these 3 numbers together. X plus 111 plus 32, plus 31 equals 180. I combined the 2 that I already know, so that's 142. So X plus 142 equals 180. And then I do the inverse operation in order to find the missing angle. All right, and remember that you can definitely pause this video as many times as you need it, rewind it, watch it again, okay? You can grab a parent if you're watching and say, hey, she just did this and I have no idea how she did it. You know, come get them and you can figure that out together. Over here, it says, find the measures of angle AEB, AED, and DEC. So basically, these 3 angles, you don't know how much they measure. The cool thing about this is that opposite, angles that are across from each other when lines intersect equal the same thing. In other words, and that's something that you're going to learn in geometry. You're learning it early now. But if this is 67, this one on this side is automatically also 67 because they're across from each other after intersecting lines, okay? Now that you know that this is 67, you know that this one plus this one has to equal 180 degrees, right? So to find E, we have to do, or to find this angle, let's call it X. X plus 67 equals 180 degrees. We do the inverse operation, 180 minus 67, okay? And we get that's 113. So So if this angle right here is 113, then the opposite side has to be the same thing, 113. So opposite side angles to each other, they measure the same thing. That's a geometric concept. Dig deeper. Write in self-equations to find the measurement of K, M, J. So I'm trying to find K, M, and J right here, okay? I know this looks difficult, but we're going to figure this out, okay? And you can figure this out like this. 124 plus something, because this is a straight angle down here. These two have to equal 180 because they're supplementary angles to each other, right? It's a right angle. So for this guy, we have to do x plus 124 equals 180. So, and I'm gonna skip this one on the bottom just so that I can write down here, but that would be x equals 180 minus 124, okay? So that would be 56, yes, so equals, so I'm sorry, x equals 56 degrees. So that means that this one right here is 56 degrees. I just taught you that angles that are across from each other like this measure the same thing. So if this is 56, its twin over here is also 56 degrees. Why did I need to find that? Because now I need to find this angle right here, this x. So now, I don't need to find the measurement of this guy, because if they gave me a little box, that means that that's automatically 90 degrees. So now in order to find x, all I have to do is x plus the 56, which I found thanks to this angle, plus the 90 degrees, which I found because they had the little square corner. All of those together equal 180 for this straight angle. Okay, so now I add up these two together. So x plus 146, okay, equals 180. So now I do the opposite operation, x equal 180 minus 146, and I get that the angle is 34 degrees. Ta-da, so x is 34. That took a lot of steps, but it was just trying to figure out the math. To me, these are fun because they're like puzzles. I know this equals 180, so I just subtract this one to get that one. That one automatically becomes the same measurement as the one across from it. Boom. Then I knew this was 90, so I add up these two and subtract it from 180 to get that one. I kind of like it. I like Sudoku puzzles and stuff like that, so it makes me happy when I find stuff like that. Okay, last page. The foul lines on a baseball field are perpendicular. Perpendicular, of course, means that it forms a perfect corner, 90 degrees. A baseball player hits a ball as shown, so the path of the baseball. What is the measure of the angle between the path of the ball and the first base foul line? So in other words, what is this angle measurement right here? Okay, this is not as hard as it seems, guys, because as you can see, this and this forms a 90-degree angle because they told you that. They told you that the lines are perpendicular. So that means that these two together equal a 90-degree angle. And you know that one of them is 26. So that means that 26 plus the x equals 90. So then I do your 90 minus 26, and you get your answer of 64. Give me 1 second. Sorry, everybody. I record my lessons when I first wake up in the morning, and I'm always kind of scratchy in my throat, and I have a lot of allergies, so makes it for a very interesting voice. So the measure of the angle between the path of the ball and the first foul line is 64 degrees, and I knew that because these two foul lines right here, they told me they're perpendicular, and if they're perpendicular, they form a perfect 90-degree angle. So 26 plus x has to equal 90. That's how I know it. 2 more problems and I'll be done. Runway number 1 and runway number 2 are perpendicular. So runway number 1, runway number 2 are perpendicular. That means they form together a 90-degree angle. What is the measure of the missing angle between runway 1 and 3? So that means y. How much is y right here? Well, kind of like what I did right here. Only now they're using y. Not a big deal. So y plus 58 degrees, which I know, has to equal 90. So I do y equals 90 minus 58, which would tell me that y equals 32 degrees. Not bad, complementary angles to each other. Number 10, what is the measure of the missing angle between View Street and Elm Street? So between View Street and Elm Street. So how much is this guy, okay? This is a cool problem because all these angles together form a what? What did I just draw? A circle. A circle is 360 degrees, always and forever. No matter the size of the circle, how small or how big, the angle degree measures will always be 360 degrees when added all together. So if these three angles form a circle, it must be that the angle that I don't know, which is n, plus 152, which I do know, plus this guy. Oh, they didn't give me the measurement. Yes, they did, because if they give you this little square corner, that means it's automatically 90. All these guys together have to equal 360 degrees because all of them together form a circle all around. Now, I add the two that I know. So n plus 152 plus 90, that's 242 equals 360 degrees. Now I subtract. N equals 360, and I take away 242. And I get that n equals 118. Bam, you found it. All because these all angles together formed a circle, and a circle is 360 degrees. Now, please take your time with this lesson. You have to build these equations carefully. You have to double check your math before you put the answer on there. If the homework asks for the number and it already has a degree symbol outside of the answer box, you do not have to write your own degree symbol, because then it'll say like 45 degrees, and then it'll mark it wrong even though it's right. So just put the 45 in there plainly if they already put the degree box on the outside. Please do this carefully. Have an adult check it before you submit it. Definitely watch this video before you do the homework. And I will catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.